start the recording so I don't miss out on that. I'm making you a co-host now that will help you to share your slide. Yes, go ahead. You're already a co-host. Please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself, Jans. Please unmute yourself, Jan. You need to unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Jans, could you kindly unmute yourself? Thank you.
Ein. Guck mal, da ist nicht dann da.
Kindly unmute yourself. Thank you.
Ah, warte mal, Audio stimmt.
Jetzt wieder. Ja,
Now
okay.
is the audio on?
Yes.
Yes, it's on.
Yes.
Yes, it's fine.
Oh.
Yes, thank you. You can go.
I apologize. This is I'm so unprofessional. I'm sorry. Can you see my do you see my screen as
Yes.
well? Okay,
Yes.
this is wonderful. Oh my God, sweating. It's so exciting. So yes, today it's a little bit different because I let me go back in times, please. So the opening slide that you see is a picture. It is I live in Hamburg, which is North Europe, and the picture you see is even above Hamburg. It's on northern Scandinavia, and it's a place in the world that couldn't be any different than probably India is different, because it's very, very, very cold there, and it's not only that it is cold, most of the time people will not see the sun. Like 6 months of the year, people almost live like in the dark, and then it is like living in an ice box. It's the place of the Eskimos. And these Eskimos were the cause for a research. How is it possible that people are survive in really extreme environments? How is that possible? How are the circumstances? And so in the 1960s, which is the year when I was born, there was a new kind of research focusing on the Eskimos. Why is it possible that they could stay in their life in the way they're doing successfully? And this was the beginning of the omega oil, the fatty acid research. And it was a huge impact on the insights of nutrition, because globally it was understood by that the fatty acids for the human body are so important. They are essential. They have the highest priority in in all aspects of metabolism. So this was a start of something that is going on till today, and on the run, like million and million of people started to be aware of the omega fatty acid, and it became part of the global knowledge. So besides this, I was born in 1960, as I said, and today we don't live with the Eskimos. We live in Hamburg, and I have a family, and I'm very happy to live here. And I'm very thankful that I have the life that I have, that I'm able to travel around the world, meet people, and even if people live under very different circumstances, I can tell all humans are the same in their core. People want to feel good, people want to be happy and healthy, and want to be with their families. We are very much the same in our let's say basic needs, or in our basic structure. So, and at the same time, not only the scientific research the world today cannot be more different than it was in 1960s, because in the 1960s we were in a full-on analog world. We had the way we could access informations were so different without internet. People who are born today or who are growing up, they cannot imagine how the world was, this very analog, in the analog environment. And on the one hand, these evolution also of technology or of being able to to visit the world and communicate, never ever we have access to so much information as it's going on today, and the options to access or any subject is so much is available and is there, and people have uh, options to to make choices for their life that are, well, great somehow. But at the same time, it is, if you look at the statistic data, we have health related problems as never ever before. So when I started to do my professional life, my purpose was to focus on solutions that we could have, or solutions that we could live. My purpose was to support the well-being and study or looking at the positive choices or the positive options. That's why I became an expert for well-being culture. And today I am educating sound healing. So to my decision to focus on sound healing on the base of a natural practitioner, natural health education, for a, yeah, what was the reason I wanted to focus on the solutions and not on the problems. So, but when I started to be educated after school, after I had my trainings in the military, all the stuff you have to do when you're in Germany. So it was, I was absolutely fascinated by all those people that decided to focus on the history of health. And the idea was that if we look in the past, so we should be able to find ways to find thoughts that could guide us and raise a consciousness for the good things to do. Because at the same time, we are facing so many challenges, and we are supposed, or we have the options, or at least I feel we are supposed to analyze the problems like a proper engineer. He's looking, something is going wrong, so we want to know what's going wrong and how can we fix that. So, and it is not that we have to invent the wheel. The wheel has already been invented. Yeah, so it's we know how it works. And also, nutrition does not have to be invented. And in the European, or probably globally, the person Hippocrates, he was one of the first natural kind of doctors, and he said, "Let your food be your medicine, and your medicine be your food." And this is and this is actually, it seems normal to everyone who makes up his mind to access knowledge about sustainable health, like and it's a very very nice idea and a great concept. So you eat the food from Mother Nature, and if you scientifically jump into it, because when you eat food, then proper food, natural food, supposed to be full of vitamins, minerals, phyto micronutrients, beta glucans, fibers, healthy fats, and good balance of omega-6 and 3 as a priority level inside your nutrition. So now we have the idea of a perfect life, but the reality is that life is not perfect at all. If we look at the statistic data, and there are people that have the disastrous job to analyze the statistic, and while you can say today we eat man-made food, and it was like 200 years ago that with the industrialization of the food, the natural balance of the ingredients start to collapse. And so today the man-made food, which is lower nutrition density, it's high in sugar, many empty calories, low in fibers, less healthy fats, and a particular huge imbalance between omega-6 and omega-3, omega-6 as the principle that increase the inflammation, and omega-3 the module that de-increase the inflammation, which is a natural process, a basic priority biological process. And thanks to medical science, we have access to statistic data of research. So we are exactly aware that even in 1850, the original organic physiological DNA relation would have been a 1-to-1 relation on your omega-6 to 3 balance, which means that your metabolism can react to and responds to your daily life. And today science recommend a 3-to-1 balance. But what happened in the 1960s is that there was a turning point. And this turning point, we got a curve that is not even going slightly nicely straight. It's an exponential curve that leads to datas. They are just incredible. And today, 2020, we have an average balance of 25-to-1, which is far away from the organic balance of 3-to-1. So of course, there are many datas, but we can look at the relationship from omega-6 to omega-3 as an understanding door that guides us into the concept of a proper micronutritional concept. And if you are a medical expert, then of course you know then where you have to details that you can find the results of a disbalanced omega-6 to 3 ratio, which is like reduced brain function, the hair quality decreases. You will find young people, they don't have hair anymore. I don't know how it's in India. In Germany, it's terrible. You'll find young people losing their hairs. Well, you reduced heart function. You see all the statistics. It's normal. You find people with even 40 years, they be in the hospital for heart dysfunctions. Then the skin loses elasticity, and well, organ function is reduced, and all these tremendous terrible diseases. But as I was saying, for my personal impact, this looking at the disasters made me sick myself. So I moved over to another area where I would research not only research, where I would make the profession of looking at the solutions being my topic. So, but now let's stay a little moment in this terrible disaster, because having a completely out of control omega-6 to 3 ratio, actually before it comes down as a disease that would be diagnosed as a Alzheimer or a heart stroke or rheumatic concept, it is like 90% of however you name a disease, it's basically inflammation in every single cell. So and these pictures, just to give a little insight, right? I want to have the overall idea that we see on the left side, the cell that due to the disbalanced ratio is not able to the nutritions are not getting inside the cell. There will be the cell will be not supplied with the nutritions if they are receiving, and the waste products come out slowly, which starts the process of inflammation. And on the right side, you see the green cell, which shows a organic ratio, and nutritions get in easily, and waste products come out easily as well. So now, being for over 35 years a professional health activist, as it says in my description, I have seen so many people professionally in being professionally involved on different levels of health activities. So of course, I know doctors, I know health practitioners, but I also know a lot of people, they committed to live a very disciplined life, either as a yogini, or as a chi practitioner, or using a certain diet. And I've seen quite a lot of disciplines or styles of or ways of living. And I have seen people that would live a very disciplined, healthy life, but at the end or on the way of their life, they still were about to get sick. And even in my own job, like the sound healing, I had the experience that it is very easy possible to almost like create a miracle with sound. If somebody is suffering from extremely pain and his life task is to make a pain management, if he would come to a gong meditation, chances he will get rid of his pain are very high. So, but after 1 week, the pain in most of the cases would come would appear again. So my question was, how can I achieve more sustainability within the gong, within the sound healing? And it was just recently, which 3 years ago, I came across a concept which is about we are talking today. And this concept was so fantastic because it made the sound applications more sustainable. And 3 years ago, I started a very complex, a complex communication with a lot of people being involved in health culture in various ways. And so, because I wanted to discuss and see if this health protocol, what we came across to, is if it works for them as well. But let's get another one. So the organic ratio, which is supposed to be 3:1, now it is chances it is below that or higher as that is given. And now what is new with the concept that we came across is that people will not depend on guessing or believing, but we have we call it a evidence-based way to look at the status quo, at the situation of your cells, and with a special arranged concept, it is possible to move from a bad data to a positive data within just 120 days by accessing a natural, let's say, a food application that I'm sure going to speak about. But however, the concept is that globally we are in a world of crisis, and this crisis has many faces. And if you look at the outside faces or the symptoms around, then it is very difficult to even, well, the best we can do now is the time of the COVID, and however smart we think about what it is or what it is not, it does affect our life, but how do we organize our own life? So, and basically what I understood and what the agreement is that first of all, we have to take care of ourselves, not because we are egoistic, but if we are in a disaster, then we cannot help anyone. So we must be somehow strong and fit and be able to do a good example of a job or live a healthy life. And I have I have seen so many people committing their life to be healthy and to teach other people how to be healthy, and it was still something was always missing. And so, like, the last slide, then I will somehow get back to the of my pictures. And this is like 3 years ago, I came across a group which has a core scientific advisory board. And these amazing, and above all, I want to really mention Dr. Paul Clayton, who became my guru in terms of micronutrition, in terms of knowledge, and he's a creator of a health protocol that can be considered as a game changer in the world of health industries. and experts said it's the same as when Apple joined the market of computers or when Tesla come in. And the details, what is different, what makes this health protocol so special? Well, this could be well, we have some friends here, as I can see. I would like to just turn off, get back from my slides, so to meet people in real life and are looking at you, and it also gives me less stress. So I hope, I mean, there are so many things I could speak about it, and basically is like this health protocol changed my life as a sound practitioner, because the perfect results we could create before, now they are sustainable. And so this was game changing for me. And so we added this possibility into our sound work, sound concept. And now, well, if you don't mind, I would like to invite my my mentor, Stefan Heath, who is giving us the pleasure being with us. And because he was the one who set me on fire. I know him for many, many years, and he is an organizer. Well, I just would like to give the word to Stefan, please.
Okay, thank you, Jens. Yes, my name is Stefan Heath, and I'm 57 years young and from Hamburg in Germany. And it's an honor to tell you about my little health miracle. First, it is perhaps significant to mention that I have been eating an organic and primarily vegetarian and fish diet for over 12 years. And I took a fatty acid test in May 2018 with a result of 14.3 to 1, omega-6 to omega-3. Jens told about it. And after 5 months of using of the health protocol, it was at 1.8 to 1. And why did I do that? Now, I hosted talk show for several years and increasing problems remembering things, so I needed more and more moderation cards. That was dramatic. And after only 3 months of using the health protocol, my memory was better than in my childhood. So this was fantastic. If you want to hear more, I have many more miracles, Jens. I don't know if you like to hear more.
Well, I thank you very much for being here, taking the time to be here. And well, we have some more friends around, I would, and I'm sure I want to come back to you as well. And well, of course, there's my fabulous partner. My life would not be complete without wonderful Alex. We are a team. And on the picture I was showing in the beginning, also her sons and my sons. So we are doing it together. And well, and when I came home from Stefan and said, well, we have something new. Well, I would like to ask Alex to join in, please, as well.
Yes, hello to everybody, and thank you. I hope you can hear me. Okay, thanks. Yes, I was really surprised, Jens coming home, say, we have something new and we will do this now. And I said, why should I do? And I had no idea about anything relating to this at that time. Even if I had always the ambition to live healthy and try to eat organic food and all this, I never came above this omega complex. And so I was very surprised when I did the test, because my ratio was 18.6 to 1, so very high. And I was thinking, how would it be without all the sound healing we were doing? So it probably would be much higher. And so we started. And what was very interesting for me after about 3 months, it started that there came things changed. So, for example, we came from an event. It was in 2018 in autumn, and in the nighttime. And yet, normally Jens drives because I am not able to look very well in the night, and it's really difficult for me. So I always asked him to drive, but he got so tired. So he asked me, could you please take the car for 1 hour? And I said, okay, I'm fine, so I will do. And normally I have to drive very slow because I cannot see well. So I started to drive, and suddenly I felt there's something different. So suddenly I could look. I was not blinded by the other lights. I could see the street. So I was so happy and so excited. So I took all the rest of the way. So this was my first experience, and many happened, and still I feel changes to the better in my body. I really can feel it. So this is my little story for now.
Thank you very much, Alex. I remember this night. She was really excited because usually she could not. It was impossible. Thinking Alex driving a huge van. We have a big van, and it's heavily loaded, and it's a fast van. And she was so happy that she could drive it fast. And the German autobahns are made to drive fast. This is like special thing here. But however, and I see that. We have a friend from Switzerland, Nikolaus. So I would like to ask to introduce yourself, please, and give us some little insights of your story, please.
Thank you, Jens, for giving me this possibility. As Jens has mentioned, I live in Switzerland and I work as a medical doctor. I'm a physician working in alternative and complementary medicine. And I came across the concept through a friend of mine who introduced me also to Stefan Heath, and who told me about this really great concept by Paul Clayton. And I immediately got interested in this concept and started to implement it in my practice, which is basically a family medicine practice, but a special one because I, as I said, mainly work with complementary alternative methods. And I was really interested in using this concept, and it quickly changed the way I work because I got so many patients interested in using this concept. And I, of course, used the concept myself. I started taking the supplements. I started taking the fish oil, which really, and the other complements, which is micronutrients and a special powder for the bowels. So what it changed for me was that basically my energy levels got boosted pretty quickly. My vision, my eyes got better, like Jens just mentioned about his partner. My night vision got better as well, and I was less tired after having been in front of a computer screen for many hours. Also, my memory got increasingly better, and it's basically probably it has never been as good because I see a mobile number maybe once or twice, and then I have it in my memory, which is new. So it really changed the way I work, and basically there is a life and a work as a medical doctor before and after I came across this method. So it's just wonderful to be able to use it.
Thank you, Niklas, for sharing. Yes, this was one of the effects that I could feel from myself. Like I was a person who I couldn't memorize numbers. This was part of my personality. And one morning I was I was reading a book with numbers, and then I realized that I could memorize numbers. This was one of my greatest effects that I could personally feel, and that made me very happy. Well, thank you very much. So yes, and I see we have our friend Ying Rong there. Would you like to join in, please?
Hello, everybody, and hello, Jens, and thank you for the chance. So I'm coming from China, and yeah, so I want to say that that this products from Cincino, it doesn't work only for European people, it also works for Asian people, because I used that first. I had a very serious burnout. And probably if somebody has something to do with that, they will know that the burnout will destroy the memory, the brain functions, and a lot of different aspects. And I So at that time, I forgot like 70% of German and 60% of English, and so even I took my daughter somewhere to play, I was afraid that I could forget to take her back to home. So it was a very, very difficult time for me. And then but I didn't take any medicine. Somehow I felt that it could be possible to get it well without medicine, because I don't want to depend on that. And then I did the healing education and did the medical practica education. And then, so I changed my profession totally. And then I had the chance to meet Tintino, and then I started to use the products. And then, so my brain function, they are coming to work again. And then I feel so excited that I could work because I worked like before like 70 hours per week. And now I can, and later on, so when I have the burnout, I couldn't work like 4 hours. So I have to quit my job. And now, so I can work over like 12 hours per day. And then I brought, so after I tested that it's working so well, I tried to brought the products to my family in China, because otherwise I have to fly back to China and to treat my mother. And through Cincino, so at the beginning I had a little problem to bring the products to China, and my mother had a stroke before, and one of her leg cannot move really well, and she has been vegetarian for like 50 years, so she has serious osteoporosis, and her bones and joints, they can hurt whenever and whatever and wherever. And she has also dementia. So some kinds of Alzheimer. And then and my sister told me at that time, so if your products does not arrive, I will be crazier than our mother after 2 months. And then finally the products arrived, and then my mother started to take it. And after like 4 or 5 months, and so she, every time when I called her, she said, I'm so grateful that you provide me this Cincino and products, and I don't, and look, I'm now close to 90 and nowhere is hurting, and my head is so clear, and I'm so happy. So because he had a big anxiety problem, and she has to go to school, she has to go to hospital like every 2 days to hear from the doctor that she has no problem, and she took a lot of medicine back home, but she's not taking any of them. And now she said, I don't need to see the doctor, and I'm so happy staying at home. And so that was at the time that COVID was happening. So and I couldn't fly back and couldn't do anything to her. But she was like improving so much just by using Cincino concept, and that made me feel so quiet and peace now inside of me. So I'm so excited about it, and congratulations that India has the opening now for your markets, and I hope that you can spread this concept, this wonderful, unbelievable concept throughout the whole Indian. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Yingrong, for sharing your story. I feel very emotional about it, and yes, we had similar experiences with very final states of being, let's say, unwealthy, and people came back to life even if they were old. Yes, and now you are giving the surprise is not a surprise, but today is really a special day because now we are even ahead, because even in about 1 hour from now, so everybody who is participating, you are ahead of time actually, thanks to the genius synchronicity of Anu. Yeah, like in 1 hour there will be the official opening celebration of India being officially opened for this concept. So this is really, it happens today. So this is why I was saying today is a special day. Okay, so and this is a different let's say topic, the challenges, because not only I have seen the genius biological scientific concept, but I've been now part of how this company, like accessing China, is like an adventure. But so this is a different topic, and I would definitely give the word to Oliver, who is. And Oliver has a story for himself as well. So kindly ask Oliver to share your story, please.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me today. It's a great day for the balance concept by Dr. Paul Clayton. My name is Oliver Scholvens. I live in Switzerland. It's actually snowing here. It's really cold. And I have over 22 years of experience in natural, holistic healthcare. I'm fascinated about biology, biochemistry, molecular biology, and the cellular biochemistry. And I'm passionate about medicinal mushrooms, among others. So I came across the balance concept about 3 years ago, and it really struck me. It struck me. I could understand that having something so complete, so full, so round, addressing the problem of silent inflammation, which is a huge problem, as long as you don't see it, because the silent inflammations are silent. That's the problem about them. As soon as you see them, as soon as you recognize them, you can do something about it within a relatively short time. So I've been working for over 3 years now intensely with this balance concept, and I am in a position now that most of my time, actually the 14 to 18 hours per day that I spend, is counseling medical doctors or natural healthcare practitioners with respect to this to the balance concept. And we've seen a broad range of possibilities and of experiences that people have, like after 25 years of morbus Crohn and visiting one doctor after another, they finally got cured after only 4 months, or people partly or fully recovering from dementia. So there are the more, like, let's say, spectacular things that are possible, that can happen when you nourish the cellular biology with what the cell needs, what the body really needs to restore health. So we have plenty of impressive stories around that, ranging from better digestion and better sleep quality, or people who could not really have a good night's sleep for many years, sometimes decades, that you know, they're balancing out their overall health. Their immune system is much more resistant against any microbes, whatever you want to name it, be it fungi or bacteria or a virus. And yeah, I'm passionately actually working on this, as Dr. Clayton calls it, a positive transformation of global healthcare. So that's what it is about, and that's what's become my mission, just through experiences, 22 years before and the 3 years now, intensely working with the balance concept. And I'm happy actually, even if that sounds odd or strange, but I'm happy for everybody who gets in touch with it, who can have a close look at it, who can have his or her own experience, and we can do a lot of good and save a lot of pain and a lot of money, a lot of time for the people, for the patients who use it.
Thank you very much, Oliver. Yes, I feel exactly the same, and I am. So it gives it comes up with the opportunity to really support people in their idea to live a good, a healthy life, and it does affect on many positive levels. I'm very happy, and I just completely agree with what Oliver is saying, and I'm very happy we have another friend here. Achim is also with us. And would you be so kind and share us your thoughts, please?
I say hello to everybody from Hamburg too, and the weather is bad here too. It's snowing outside. No spring in outside. Yes, I guess I'm the youngest member of this fascinated group here in this fascinating health concept. I just started 4 months ago as a customer because I get in touch with a health practitioner here in Hamburg. My story, I have an incredible brain stroke a few years ago, and I have to cancel my job as a managing partner of a great advertising company because I'm feeling very tired and I can't even more work so concentrated as I used to work. And believe me, I met a lot of doctors and health practitioners, so nobody has the real, can you tell me what the real reason is? And everybody says, I have to be patient for years and it takes the time to get back this concentration I used to work. And this health practitioner last year told me about the fascinating health concept of Mr. Paul Clayton. And I start as a customer, makes a blood test, and I see that something is wrong inside me, and something is wrong of my fatties balance. So I get out of the balance, and that's one of the reasons because I'm feeling tired and I can't concentrate. After 4 weeks using this concept, this health concept, I feel a new awakeness. Yes, I'm getting clear in my head. I'm feeling awake. I'm feeling so powerful, so that I start 4 weeks after starting as a customer, using this health concept as a partner, because I'm feeling the great awakeness for everybody. And so I'm starting to tell everybody how wonderful this concept is. So I'm waiting for the results of my second test. I have to make another peaks in the next few days, and I'm very excited of the result, because I'm definitely sure that will show me that everything will be in balance, because I feel the balance. Thank you all.
Yes, thank you very much, Achim. Yes, there are so many aspects. Like the overall idea is that we move from that we can move over to a evidence-based or approach, and which is the starting in. And somehow from now on, I feel like we would repeat. We've listened to so many great stories, and I would kindly ask Anu somehow to jump in. And is there any direction, or is there any specific thing that you are curious to know or to ask? Or maybe we use the opportunity to have these experts here. So is there any question from your side, Anu?
Thank you so much, everybody. That was just amazing, because stories are what basically, and what you went through is what a lot of people would really, really feel happy with and would want to use the product. I would ask my friends here, Anya, Sumita, and others over here, Gopu sir, if they have any questions. and if you can clear up anything that they want to know over here. Because I know Sumita has been a pain patient for a very, very long time. She's been having a lot of issues around her joints and pains. I know Anya, she's amazing with yoga, and she does. Any questions, Dr. Rashmi, Rahi Joshi? We also have Cora Klep from my community, that's Meta Health International, and so happy to see her here. Gopu sir is also an entrepreneur, as well as he helps the startup. So maybe he can jump in too and ask a few questions. So you can raise your hand if you want to ask a question, and I will. Yes, Anya, please go ahead.
I have a hello from Munich. I have a question. First of all, I would like to have some kind of document to read through to what it's all about. I didn't get all of it. You say you open now in India. Is it a pill you're selling, or I didn't get how this whatever omega is helping me, or I don't know. I didn't understand.
Thank you for that question. That really helps. Thank you. So Jans, would you like to answer that? Thank you.
Oh, yes. Well, it is a health concept, I would say, and it starts in with the balance test, which gives you a look on your on the status of the various fatty acids. So this is the starting in point.
So
Then,
is that like you do the test, or I do it personally?
people do it themselves. It's like a little. It's like well, you take it's called a blood dry test. So you will test yourself and have 3 drops of blood, and then they will be sent to Norway to an independent laboratory. And after about 2 weeks, you get the results on the anonymous data sheet, and then is actually when the journey begins. But in the moment you have done the test, it's always, you can recommend to start a program, which basically is a particular well, it's an oil concept. You would have like a spoon of oil, and the way this is done, what is new is that the architecture of the molecules is in a way as it has never been done before, and particular with the polyphenols, or if I say the word wrong, maybe Oliver can help me pronouncing it right. So like the basic idea is that mostly all of the on the market existing fatty acids, which are hundreds of them, they don't create the results of bringing the cells in balance, because the sustainability of the sensitive molecules is not given. And with the polyphenols, the oil stays like to 30 hours inside your body and reach to the cells. And this is unique. This is outstanding. There is no product that is able to do this. So this is the basic, this is the core actually.
So once you have then I have sent my blood drops to Sweden or wherever, then what happens after that? Do I take pills or?
Oh, well, the product is like an oil that you take on a spoon. It comes in a bottle, or you can also have it as a capsular, and then you will consume it according to the weight of your body.
Mm-hmm.
And then after 120 days, you will do the next test. And what usually happens for many people on the way of the 120 days, usually people feel the changes, feel the difference, which is different for every personality. We are all different, and everyone has different processes.
Thank you. I have one last question. Between the time when I need then to take the oil, do I have a special diet to follow, or I just it's a supplement to whatever?
No, not at all. You don't have to change any of your habits,
okay.
unless you would spot something that let's say is counterproductive. But But I can tell that people who spend their life working on yoga, exercising themselves, they usually have a very fast response, and we have many good results and very good experience of professionally health-minded people so far.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. I think Vibha Shah wants to talk. Yes, go ahead, Vibha.
Thank you, Anu. Hi, Jens. Hello, Alex, and all the speakers. Thank you for your information. I have two questions. One is, I understand the test that Jens mentioned. It is, I mean, I don't know the word of the test, but it is Europe specific. What about the tests that we do in India? I mean, since you're opening up in India, do we have a tie-up? Is the blood sample sent somewhere in India, or it has to go to Europe? That was the first question. And then the second thing is, based on the report, let's say you're reading, you mentioned somebody 18 on one and 25 on one, the dosage of the pill or powder, oil, whatever it is based on the reading, or it is like a generic thing, everybody, no matter who, of what age group and condition, have to have a same dosage? Who decides the dosage? That is my second question.
So for the first question, I would refer to Stefan, please, because he's in communication, and then I will answer the second question.
Thank
Yes,
you.
it's very easy. You send the test to Delhi in the office of the company, and they will send it, I think, via UPS to Oslo to the laboratory.
Okay, so it is just one centralized point in India.
Yes, yes, it's
All
one
the samples
centralized
should
point.
be- okay.
Yes, and it's on the cover, all printed. Everything is fixed.
Okay, because India is also very temperature variant. Like you are sitting in the snow, we are sitting in the blasting sun right now. So
Yes,
we have to be
but
very
there's no problem.
careful
It's a
of
dry
temperature
blood test.
control.
It's no problem. It's a dry blood test.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And for the second question, maybe Alex can answer to the second question. Vibha, can you please say your second question again?
Yes, Alex, what I was asking was that based on the report, let's say you gave some examples, like somebody's reading was 18 on one, and earlier on a presentation you saw it was 20 on one or something. So based on the report that you have, is the dosage, I mean, is there a recommendation of dosage based on the report, or is there a specific, I mean, is there a generic dosage that everybody has to take no matter what their condition?
Yes, of course, it's not the same for everybody because everybody has different weight and needs a different amount. And of course, when you get the result of the test, you have a special look how the result is. And according to the data, for a short time, Dr. Paul Clayton says, it shows the rate of your inflammation inside your body, which you might not feel already. Normally you feel it at the moment it comes out in some disease, but in the time it's that's why it's called silent inflammation. So you basically don't feel it until something comes out. So you see in the report what you get from the test, how high is this ratio. And so according to this, if it's very high, you might go a little bit higher with the dosage for a short time, for example, for 4 months, but you exactly go with the results of the test and the weight of the person.
So just to clarify that I've understood it well, basically what you mean to say, there is like a tabulation. If your rate of inflammation is, let's say, from 1 to 20, just as an example, or 1 to 5, you have X amount of dosage. If your inflammation is 6 to 12, you take another amount of dosage. It's a decided table, formulation or table.
You get very much different data in the test.
Okay.
So you can look at the whole body. And so according to this, you can decide what is the right dosage you can take for the first 4 months, and then you do the second test, and then you adjust it, go down until you are balanced. Then you have just a normal ratio. You take 0.15 milliliter per kilo. This is if you're balanced, the daily approach.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I have one more question. I don't know whom I should address it to, either Stefan or Jens. Can I ask the question now?
Please.
Uh, just like, I mean, I think the the principle on which the universe functions is balance, neither too much or too less. So is there something like this for this supplement? Can you go wrong by an overdosage and have a setback of any sort?
May I ask Niklas, from a perspective of a medical expert, answering this question, please?
Absolutely. Thank you for addressing this question to me. I basically tried just to do that. I like to take things a bit to the edge of what's possible, and because basically I just wanted to reach the balance as quickly as possible. So our friend mentioned the dosage of 0.15 milliliters per kilogram kg body weight. So that would be the normal rate. Now, if you have an omega-3 index that is really low, which happens quite often when I see my patients' results, then you can actually double the dosage in the first 2 months. That would be the way to go. Now, I did feel for myself, not for my patients, I didn't do that for my patients, but for myself, I felt the effect was so good that I actually wanted to go a bit faster and took sometimes 3 and sometimes 4 times the balance, the normal dosage of the balance oil. And what I saw after 4 to 6 months when I did my second test, that I was just wonderfully in balance. I was still not too far because, of course, in the omega-6 to 3 balance, you could theoretically do an overdosage, which wouldn't be good. So let's say if you go below 1 to 1, the omega-6 to 3 ratio, that might be a bit of a problem with the blood coagulation. Now, you don't want to go there. However, we know that the Inuits in the northern parts of the world, they consume so much fish that they actually were on a normal basis below 1 to 1. And of course, it didn't do any wrong to them. However, I think we need to see also that there is probably a genetic adaptation of people to the situations in an area of the world where they live. So let's just aim for a ratio of 3 to 1 or 1 to 1, omega-6 to 3 ratio, and that would be good. But to come back to your question, I think you would have to take really a lot of oil, and way too much oil for quite a long time to do yourself any harm. And so I did that experiment myself. Nothing happened. I was just perfectly in balance after 4 to 6 months. So either you can go slower or you can go faster, but it's really extremely safe. So the therapeutic levels of how to take the oil is extremely safe.
Thank you so much. I think Sumita Mendirata wanted to ask a question. And if there is anybody else who wants to ask a question, please raise your hand. Thank you.
So, hi, friends. I want to know what is the name of the product, as when we, check on Google. So, by what name this oil is being available, and also the components, the ingredients of this oil, because since I'm a vegetarian, like a vegan, so I would like to know, before I take this product, that what exactly are the ingredients, and also a second question: is this it's a supplement, like what I understood from this whole talk, where it's a supplement which is really impacting significantly on health. So is there like a medical fraternity which is also backing up this product and saying that yes, it's okay to have this as a supplement, like we have other vitamins and minerals? which are usually recommended by doctors. So I wanted to understand that. Thank you.
Thank you for that question.
So maybe we start with the second question. Maybe I saw Oliver is giving a sign that he's processing the question. Oliver, would you answer the second question, please? And then after this, Stefan will refer, because we are in a special situation, like it's almost like a secret. I'm not sure if we are, I think it was mentioned, but let's stay on the second answer first, please. And I kindly ask Oliver to answer the question.
Yes, thank you. That's a very good and interesting questions. Well, there are different versions of the oil, and one is vegan, which is made from algae, and the other is made from fish oil, but these are very special fish caught in the special places in the ocean, and in a way that they, with certain labels like friend of the sea labels. So that the producer, like Dr. Clayton, when they started to produce this oil, when they found this really world-changing formula that is so highly effective, they only wanted to work with the algae oil. But then they found out that there is just, at the moment, there is not enough available for the world's needs. So there is a fish oil and an algae oil, and it consists of like 60% of the algae oil or the fish oil, and 40% is a special, especially refined extra virgin olive oil. And it took like 5 years of research just to find a kind of olives which has a content so high in polyphenols, which are very powerful antioxidants, which can protect the fatty acids. They need like 25 hours in the body to arrive really in the body cell. And usually omega-3 products, they work for about 9 hours, 2 to 9 hours. So you have only like 10% of the possible effect. So you have 60, but this is why it's actually called balance oil for several reasons. It's not like a classic omega-3 product, which you can have like everywhere on the internet, but it's like it's even patented. Like there's a patent pending on the algae oil because of its special effectivity. I think that answers the second question. And
Yes.
for the first question, I would like to pass over to Stefan, if you would like to answer this, the availability and the other side.
Yes, thank you, Oliver. It's very, very easy because, we are not allowed to give the details until the next 20 minutes, actually. So the official launch of the company is in 20 minutes. Maybe
Great.
this afternoon we can send documents to Anu or also to you, if you like.
Sure, that would be great.
Yes? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who has any question? If you have any question, please do raise your hand and please ask your question. Rahi, would you like to ask anything? Because I know you're looking for something that can really help you with your health. Margaret is into buck flowers. Would you like to ask any questions there? Cora, would you want to ask anything? It looks like we have a very content audience who seems to have understood the product very well. Why don't we have each of you, because you are experts here, think of the stuff that maybe would be required, since we have another 10 minutes, and you could maybe give some tips or something that that would really help people to get more out of the launch that's going to be happening in India, and how they could maybe utilize this in a much better way. Yeah, so maybe Jans, you could take it from here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would definitely would take the chance of having the colleagues here, uh, and so I would like to ask. So just to be sure, did I understand the question right? So you ask us to please repeat your question again, so I'm absolutely sure what the question is.
Didn't ask any question. Cora Klep is asking. Uh, Cora Klep is saying, would you please be able to do the same webinar for the mental health community in German?
Oh yes, of course. Yes.
Yes, Cora, it's possible. So Cora Klep is a beautiful soul who is connected with Meta Health International. That's where I'm also part of the same organization. We work with basically stress being the part of what creates illness, and we would like for our community, which is across the world, to have a webinar created by all of you experts so that the world could benefit. And yeah, you can get in touch with me and I can be in touch with Jans and we could create that to happen. Thank you so much, Cora. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so that's one. I was wondering if each of you expert would like to say something before we end the show, because and I would really like if we could do another one maybe next week or after 10 days from now, because today was the first time that we've even spoken about something like that. And the more we educate people, the more they understand. And once they're educated enough, they anyway want to utilize the product. Who doesn't want to be healthy? I don't know anyone who doesn't want to be healthy. That's, in my experience, better than promoting anything else. So I would really request each one of you to even in the audience, people who are present, what was your impression of the whole thing? How did you find this presentation? Is there something that we could bring more for you? Because I'm like 10 minutes or an hour old in this. And I completely trust Jans and Alex, and that's from where I'm coming. And I love something that's new. So why not have Oliver, Stefan, and Nicholas speak a little bit more about it, and Alex and Jan speak a little bit more, because you're there. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Oliver, you got a beautiful smile.
Yes, I would suggest Oliver to make the first, and then Stefan and Nicolas and Alex.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, you see me smiling for a very simple reason. As I said, I'm very passionate about health, and I've kept asking the same questions for over 22 years. How can I support people in the most effective ways on all levels, be it in their physical health, their mental health, their emotional health, their energy and their balance? And this is when I teach natural health practitioners, for example, I always tell them, please do not underestimate the possible effects or the depth, of what we're doing here, of what has been given to us through these 40 years almost of scientific studies, of beautiful people with a beautiful mindset, and gathering all this information. And yeah, this is what keeps me smiling, because I mean, there's a bunch of people here just being interested in it. So it's a happy day.
Thank you. That was so beautifully said, Oliver. And thank you for that beautiful smile. Keep it always. We need more people smiling in this world today.
Thank you.
Answer
It's my pleasure.
Thank you very much, Oliver, and Stefan, please. He's also smiling very nicely.
Oh yeah, he reminds me of a blue shirt that, when I was banker's wife. I mean, he's not in the banking industry anymore. He would wear all kinds of blue shades. And there were times when he would go and buy another blue shirt and say, can't you see her? This is so beautiful. And I couldn't ever make out the difference. Today, it feels like we are talking about, a product which all look the same, and we need to really have a fine line between how is it different, how is it different from other products, and why is it different. That would be something that, if you can throw light on that, Stefan. Thank you.
Mhm. Well, this is a question I would ask Niklas actually, because he's and Stefan will ask about the blue shirt. I don't know.
I think it's best Niklas started. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Jens. Well, what I would like to add here is that I haven't found anyone yet who can benefit from this product. And the thing is that people nowadays have very unbalanced values in their blood when it comes to omega-6 to 3 ratio. And this is actually the case throughout the world, all over the world. Jens has shown one of his slides that it's actually the case throughout the world. So there is a need for better health worldwide, and there's a need for better omega-6 to 3 ratios, and also for better omega-3 index, that is the level of the omega-3 fatty acids in the blood, because there is too much silent inflammation. That's something Oliver has mentioned before. So basically no one, almost no one, I would say, in this world doesn't need to add something on the omega-3 side, because we all have an issue with silent inflammation. And of course, on a public health side, we're all paying for that, because the healthcare costs worldwide are exploding. Diabetes is exploding. Cardiovascular diseases are exploding. Hypertension is exploding. Obesity is exploding. So we have lots of problems with medical issues that are linked directly or indirectly with silent inflammation. And if we all take our test and have a look and take our patient's test, then we can see that there is a real need for that. And then there is that aspect, what actually is different in the omega-3 oils we're talking about today from other products. Dr. Paul Clayton has written a famous article, or a very interesting article in 2018, which is actually on his blog also. We can probably give the address of that blog later on so that you can all have a look at it. And it was titled, How Would Anyone Take Fish Oil Supplements in 2018? And what it actually says, that there are so many fish oil and of course also algae oil supplements on the market that are actually not doing their job very well. And that's because they don't have the right polyphenol content. Polyphenols are very important components that are in plants, in nature, and that we actually need because they're potent antioxidants. Now, if we mix them with the oil, then that gives the oil the capacity to stay within the body and actually be absorbed, taken up by the body and built into the cell membrane. If the polyphenols are not present, which is probably the case in about 99% of other omega-3 products, then it will oxidate within the body. The oil will oxidate before it can even be taken up and built into the cell membrane. So that is basically a waste of energy, a waste of money, a waste of precious fish oil, and a waste of precious algae oil. So there's really the fact that the polyphenols are present within that oil, that makes a difference.
Wow.
Thank you very much, Niklas. This is very, very impressive. I feel very inspired with your precision, and thank you very much. So the word goes to Stefan, please.
Yes, some words after Niklas. I think he had everything said, but after all the good experiences I have had, it is important for me, you could say it has become my life mission to introduce the possibility of this system to everyone in the world. And it's unique. And according to Dr. Clayton, we could avoid 90% of all common diseases if we would use Dr. Clayton's concept. And it is so easy because of the evidence-based test, we can check everything. So I can only recommend every person to try it and test it. That's my closing words.
Thank you very much. And the word goes to Alex, please.
Yes, I like to add also, when in my normal life, I don't like to take anything, and refer to Jingrom. She said she did not want to take medicine, and that was the same feeling. I did not want to take medicine, but as well, I felt not so good to take pills extra to food or anything. It made me somehow, it stressed me somehow to take supplements. But what I finally found out, what stressed me the most, was that I did not know what I do. So this was actually the most stress I found out, because with the concept now we have, it is so easy, because it's so well put together so perfectly, and I'm not related to any time or anything. I can take all together. I don't need to wait 2 hours for this and this and this and all these things that stress. So I found finally that it made it easy to feel safe in life. And this is what made me so happy. And that is why I'm so happy to give to people to this knowledge, that they really can have a good life, even if everything goes crazy with COVID or whatever. It cannot really affect us. We can be safe and we can do it easy. This is what made for me the most invention in this, and I really believe in the scientists and in this, to see it with a test, to have it proved, and also see how is it change. This is what I think is very important.
Thank you very much, Alex. Nicely said. Thank you very much. Yes, well, my final word is, I am so happy to promote a concept that supports the overall transformation from believing to knowing, because this is what I've seen in my life, which is it's a process. And if somebody is stuck in believing, and even if somebody believes it's a good thing, is it just believing enough that it is actually good, or is it a kind of how does transformation happens? And I personally believe that from believing coming to knowing through science is a very good path, and I'm so happy that we have this module added on. And for me, it completes my sound work a lot because of the sustainability.
Thank you, Jans, and thank you, everybody. I have a special request for Jans. Jans, you cannot go from here without at least playing something for us, because I mean, imagine having Jan Zygar here and he is not playing anything. That doesn't just work for, I'm sure people are going to be even more motivated after hearing him. Thank you so much, everybody. I really
This is a sound for my friend Anu, the most wonderful person I would like to meet this morning. Hello. Thank you so much, Anu, for having us.
thank you so much, and catch you again.
Thank you.